Hi, my name is Herby Zephir, a third-year wildlife ecology and conservation major at the University of Florida, and today I'm going to be discussing how to capture a sloth. I'll start off by sharing some of the background information with you. The scientific name for sloths is Folivora. This is Latin and it means leaf eaters. These hairy leaf eaters are found in parts of lower Central America and parts of upper South America. There are only 6 living species of sloth, and of the 6, 2, the vulnerable man three-toed sloth and the critically endangered pygmy three-toed sloth, are IUCN red listed. This is a huge conservation problem, and it also presents another problem with how research is being conducted. The very techniques being used to capture the sloths is the problem, and greater care must be taken by wildlife managers and biologists alike to conserve and promote the species. Now that I've given you some background information on the sloths, I want to evaluate 2 capture techniques commonly used to handle the hairy leaf eaters. I'll list some of the pros and cons for you. Our first technique is using a catch pole. So here's our catch pole, and here's some of its features. There's a grip for the handler, and there's a tooth guard to protect the teeth and the claws of captured animals. This is a pro because it means that captured sloths won't damage their claws or their teeth on the pole if they're frenzied. It also gives you added length, so you can reach out and capture a sloth in my case without having to worry about having to reach over and potentially fall. Some of the cons is once you've captured an animal, a suffocating pressure begins to be exerted on the animal. This can cause it to get into a frenzied state of self-defense. If you're up in the trees trying to capture a sloth, for example, the catch pole can knock it out of the tree, which can cause it to be injured, or worse. Research has actually come out on mesomammals showing a correlation between how you handle the animal, how you capture the animal, and increased mortality and behavioral changes. So you just want to be mindful when using this pole. Our second technique is manually restraining the sloth. And when you manually restrain the sloth, you don't risk dropping it as much, which is a pro because you grab it by the nape of its neck, which means you have a firmer hold on it. And if you're an animal care specialist, you know your sloth, you know its defense system, and so you won't have to chemically immobilize it to capture it. A con is that you enter a wrestling match with the sloth because you're manually trying to restrain it, and so the sloth becomes agitated and it tries to defend itself and experiences loads of stress. If the sloth cuts you, you can expose it to bodily fluids which can exchange with the sloth, or the sloth can exchange fluids with you. So you want to be mindful when using this technique. I want to recommend a capture technique that I think causes the least amount of disturbance on the sloth and won't result in harm to the sloth. I recommend using Freeman's cage net. Here's what it looks like, and here's some of its pros. So Freeman's cage net is ideal for animals up to 25 pounds. Sloths weigh up to 22 pounds, and this net is perfect for them. It comes with a sliding handle, a mesh net, and a zipper, which means you can securely capture your animal inside the net without having to worry about it falling or without having to worry about suffocating pressure being exerted on it. There is no hands-on contact with the animal when you use this net, and this is why I recommend this net for capturing sloths because it causes the least amount of disturbance to the sloth. Next up, I want to go ahead and acknowledge these amazing scientists for going out and collecting data for students such as myself and other researchers to use to make such wonderful presentations. I really appreciate it. Lastly, I want to thank you all for watching. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. Go wildlife, and thank you again for watching.